What's up? Good morning. How the hell are you? You have found yourself in this segment of your Wednesday, the 12th day of January 2022, with me, ABC and the HPP, Adam Benjamin Coleman, and the Human Performance Project. Welcome back. I guess I should probably be saying that to myself. Sorry, I can't handle the glare. I'm gonna have to assume that I'm looking into the camera now, but first video of the 2022 year for me. That is not out of not wanting to make a video. I, as per usual, have found a way to create a total dumpster fire in my life. But this way really, I guess, more of a positive, so it's like a bond dumpster fire because people are like happy around it, right? But anyway, last time I made a video, I was in prep for a competition, bodybuilding competition, which unfortunately I did not get to do for financial reasons. I did, however, peak and achieve the look that I wanted, which I captured on photo. I will be releasing. The reason I have not is because there's plenty of good bodybuilders out there. There's not a whole lot of honest, everyday guys that stay in fantastic shape almost year-round out there. I think it would be more beneficial to the audience, to myself, to my family, if I were the latter. So in other words, bodybuilding is a pretty lonely lifestyle at the competitive level. In my opinion, anyone that's trying to achieve a improved look for themselves physically is building their body, therefore by definition a bodybuilder. So we all have different goals and aspirations and levels that we want to take that hobby to, but ultimately we're all chasing the same dragon, right? So I'm still always trying to get better. That's kind of the purpose of this channel, you know, becoming better humans, whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, or all the above. This is a channel that is not intended for medical advice or professional advice of any kind, but it is going to give you an honest reflection on at least the struggles that I go through as a 37-year-old male who has faced addiction, divorce, and pretty much anything shitty in life that you could imagine. I have subjected myself to, truth be told, usually. It's not like I just had bad luck. I just made some really dumb decisions. And that's something that I'm trying to rectify now. So hopefully someone out there can learn from my experience. That is the purpose of this ultimately. And what I believe we are kind of intended to do as human beings anyways, is better each other and try to improve the ride that we're all on called life. So that all being said, I'm going to focus more on, physically anyways, the look that I'm going to achieve completely 100% naturally. Well, everyone's going to debate on natural, right? Like, do you use caffeine? That's a drug. Without anabolic supplementation, we'll put it that way. Because for the contest prep, there was some involved. You know, I am honest about that. I don't advocate or the opposite of advocate. You know, damn steroid use. It just needs to be thoughtfully and fastidiously done as far as your plan, both during and after cycle, and in terms of injection protocol and all that stuff, just to ensure your safety, if that is something you're going to pursue, because it is a lifelong pursuit. It's not something you're going to dabble in. It's something that once you do, there's really no going back. And I don't say that to scare you off or be over dramatic. It's just there is a larger spectrum of things that are governed by your hormone levels than I think you probably realize, than most people realize, unless you're, you know, a endocrinologist or something of that nature, hormone specialist of any kind. But I am none of those things. This is all essentially bro science. I did go to Chico State for exercise physiology and nutrition, but I am not, you know, an expert in any way, shape, or form. I'm fairly probably intermediate level as far as use of anabolics and knowledge of the compounds themselves. I learn a lot from other channels on YouTube, specifically like Derek at More Plates, More Dates. I think he does a really good job of combining scientific and average Joe vocabulary and making topics that are pretty complex to most more palatable, excuse me, to the general masses. Snickerdoodle protein. So anyway, yeah, back to me, my favorite topic. My training after the contest, I kind of, because my life completely changed in the sense that I got into a relationship, not trying to, totally unbeknownst to me, didn't see it coming, but it happened nonetheless, and it was fairly complicated. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. She will be on my channel in the near future. I will save names and introductions for her to do properly for herself. But it was pretty much, I guess, if you wanted a visual, the equivalent of a comet colliding with Earth. That's about how graceful our union started out. But it's okay, totally worth it. It has just been a giant learning experience for me thus far, and for her too, for sure. We'll get more into that whole dynamic and why it is such a monumental beginning for both of us in a way, I guess, even though it's just two people dating. Anyway, she's getting introduced to fitness as well, and that's fun to watch. It's always fun to see someone kind of get bit by the iron bug and start to do things that they didn't think were going to be possible. And that in turn really remotivates me to continue to keep going. I kind of reached a spot where I was burnt out lifting, and so I went into kind of a deloading phase. At least that's what I told myself it was. It was really depression, and I didn't have a whole lot of oomph to get through a real workout as far as what I'm used to, intensity-wise and volume-wise. So I really backed off the volume and intensity in some ways, and I went to a much lower volume, compound-focused cycle in my periodization here. So in other words, I was doing movements that require effort from more than one joint. And I was doing them for fewer repetitions and for fewer sets, but in a more explosive manner, in a more dynamic manner, in a way that would translate more specifically to everyday movement or athletic movements. The person that I'm dating has two small boys, and so I'm kind of thinking about introducing them to BMX and hoping that they take to that, and that would give me an excuse to start riding a bike again, which is, always a good plan B for me. So, with that in the back of my head, I'm doing a lot more plyometric exercises, at least for the lower body. So box jumps, depth jumps, broad jumps, jumping rope, foot speed drills like the agility ladder. I got a speed chute, a parachute that you do sprints with it behind you. I'm trying to increase strength and explosiveness and improve my cardio because, man, even though I keep like single digit body fat, I am out of shape when it comes to running sprints and athletic style training. That's really only something you have if you do it. So getting back into that has been fun. I feel like a more well-rounded athlete. At my peak when I was enhanced supplement wise, I was almost, well, not almost, I was low 190s and still sub 12% body fat. And then I went into peak. When I peaked, I was about 175 pounds, and that's up 4 pounds from the last time that I peaked. And I looked night and day better. It was pretty crazy to see the muscle maturity and stuff finally kind of coming into play. And just to know that I have the discipline to still put something together like that under less than optimal circumstances too. So that was definitely a good mental boost for me. I'm excited to see what I can do just by myself too. Basically the goal is to maintain some of the size that I put on, or some of the density that I put on, and add a little bit more as far as like a quality base. So the next time I go into hypertrophy training, I'm just going to be able to be hopefully another 4 or 5 pounds above what I was this last time. So it does all have a long-term purpose, even though it goes into very different phases at times. At least that's what I tell myself. So yesterday I did a chest and shoulder resistance training workout later in the evening. So hit the weights at night, and then I ran some quarter-mile sprints afterwards, and that was pathetic. I mean, I made it, but I didn't time them, and thank God, because I don't know if a sundial works at night. Of course, I'm comparing myself to when I was in like football and wrestling condition and could run it in 68 seconds or something stupid like that. So not really a fair comparison, but I'd like to get back to at least sub 90 seconds, for crying out loud. And just continue to improve overall and be a better person. So no matter what life throws at me, I'll be prepared for it, basically, is kind of the goal. As I said, be taking care and keeping up with 2 younger kids. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that, actually. But, things are going to change. I'm not always going to be able to spend the time in the gym that I want to, and that's okay. You can go hiking, you can play frisbee golf, you can do a lot of stuff outside. And bottom line, as long as I look good naked and everything works, winning. So, that all being said, again, I'm looking forward to having someone to interview on the channel, and someone that's pretty important to me that I think will broaden the spectrum of this channel quite a bit. So stay tuned for that. And I know that this was a fairly broad spectrum video. It was more of an update on what I'm doing and kind of the direction that I'm taking with this new year. If you, as always, like and subscribe, of course, but if you need clarification, if you want to give me any suggestions, if you have a comment, question, concern, please, feel free to leave it here. You can find me as well on Facebook and Instagram, even though I don't use them that much anymore. But you're always welcome to reach out, and, no question is a stupid question. The only thing stupid is not asking the question, because then you'll never know. So, be good humans until then. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will catch you on the flip side.